Now, development specialists say the early years determine not only child survival, but also whether children grow without chronic undernutrition and develop the cognitive and social-emotional foundations required for learning, adaptability, and productivity later in life. These issues are at the center of a high-level evidence dialogue of policymakers, development partners, and researchers titled Early Childhood, Productivity, and Nigeria's Growth Choices, a Nigerian-led evidence lab on the early years. And our News Central's Aishat Salihu is live at the dialogue to give us more insight. Aisha, another very important conversation today. What specific gaps have the stakeholders identified as major obstacles to the early childhood development in Nigeria, and how could these challenges actually impact children in the long run?
Said that over time, the indices have shown that the early childhood development rate in Nigeria is quite low, and this has been attributed to, the record of one of the highest under 5 mortality rates globally, reflecting gaps in maternal care, immunization, and primary health care access, especially for children within the age range. Also, undernutrition, which has led to stunting for children remaining a major challenge for ECD in Nigeria, and it affects cognitive development for these children. Another challenge is the underweight, reflecting both chronic and acute malnutrition for children within this age range. Another challenge Nigeria is facing is Nigeria's pre-primary enrollment rate remaining really low, as children are not really enrolled early enough. You'd understand that Nigeria still accounts for highest number of out-of-school children. These are many of the challenges that the development experts here are stating that they are presenting and putting Nigeria very low, as if Nigeria is not ready to build and also invest in the children, because we know that children are said to be the future leaders of tomorrow. So the conversation is still ongoing on where these gaps are, where they are, whether at sub-national level, at the national level, and what issues have led to this. Could it be policy issues where policies are not met, especially following the Child Rights Act, amongst other policies that should be implemented, not just implemented, it should also be evaluated, monitored, to ensure that the outcomes that we want should begin to show, and Nigeria should be at par with global best practices.
So, Aisha, at gatherings like this, the hopes are that it's not just a convergence of talking heads. So what recommendations are emerging from this dialogue to actually help improve the key indicators and position Nigeria on a stronger path toward inclusive growth comparable with developed economies?
Since many of the experts here have identified several recommendations, they're talking about government at both national and sub-national level to begin to provide facilities, equipment, whatever children need to develop from age 0 to 5. Take, for example, wash facilities in schools, encouraging children to want to go to school, ensuring that our educational institutions are being positioned properly, amongst others. And it should move from policy, not just policy. It looks like policy is just on paper, but they are not properly implemented, and they are not even monitored or evaluated to see where we can minus from or add to.